Hi and welcome back to SpeakCast English, your daily English listening practice podcast. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ava. So glad to be here. Today's topic is taking a taxi, confirming the destination and paying, and we're going to practice it like a real, lively conversation.
It's one of those everyday situations that can sometimes feel a little, tricky, right? Especially when you're in a new place.
Oh, absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head, Andrew. I know those moments all too well. They can be super awkward, can't they?
They really can.
Especially when you're in a new city, or you're just not sure about the local customs. My heart starts doing a little anxious dance just thinking about it.
You have no idea, Ava. I remember one time, it was late, I was utterly exhausted, and all I wanted was to get back to my hotel. I handed the driver the money, and then he just stared at me.
Oh no.
And I totally froze. My mind went completely blank. It was like all my English words just vanished.
Oh no, Andrew. What happened next? That sounds like a really uncomfortable situation. My heart is already beating faster just hearing you describe it. What was going through your head in that moment?
Everything and nothing, all at once. It was a whirlwind of panic. I felt my face get hot, like a ripe tomato. I wasn't sure if I had said the wrong thing, or if he was expecting something else entirely.
Like what?
Maybe I gave him too little? Or too much? Was it the wrong currency? Was the bill fake? All these thoughts just flooded my brain. It felt like an eternity, even if it was just a few seconds.
Wow. So, what was the actual problem? I'm on the edge of my seat here. Did you figure it out? What did you do? Did you just sit there in silence, sweating?
Well, it was all about taking a taxi, just like our story today. And it taught me a very important lesson about clear communication. But before we get to the climax of that story, let me set the scene a bit more.
Please do. I need all the juicy details. I'm picturing you, red-faced, in a silent, tense taxi. It's almost like a scene from a movie, a very awkward movie.
Exactly. So, this was a few years ago. I was in a city I hadn't visited before, on a business trip. It was my first time taking a taxi there, which already made me a little nervous.
First time in a new city, first time in their taxis. That's a recipe for potential adventure.
It certainly was. I had just finished a very long, very intense day of meetings. My brain was completely fried, honestly. I was really looking forward to a quiet evening, maybe order some room service and just relax.
Oh, the worst possible time for a misunderstanding. When you're already exhausted and just want to switch off your brain. I've been there so many times. You're definitely not at your sharpest.
Precisely. So, I walked out of the office building, and it was already dark. The city lights were bright, but I was just focused on getting home. A taxi pulled up right away, which felt like a stroke of luck.
That's always a good start. No waiting around.
I opened the back door, and before I even got in, I knew I needed to confirm my destination. I had heard stories, you know?
Smart move. That's the absolute first step, right? You definitely don't want to end up on the other side of town, or worse, at the wrong hotel.
Exactly. So, the first useful phrase for today is all about confirming your destination. It's super important to make sure you and the driver are on the same page, right from the start.
So, what did you say? Did you just hop in and shout your address at him?
No, not at all. I leaned forward a little, made eye contact, and said, "Excuse me, could you take me to the Grand Hotel, please?"
Could you take me to the Grand Hotel, please? That's a good one. It's polite, it's clear, and it sets the tone. What if you have the exact address, like a street number?
Good question. Then you can say, "Could you take me to 123 Main Street, please?" Or, if you're not even sure if the taxi is going in your general direction, you could even ask, "Are you going towards the city center?" Before you even get in.
Ah, that's clever. Are you going towards the city center? So, you confirm the general direction first, then the specific address. I like that. It saves time if they're going the other way, and you avoid an awkward refusal.
Right. So, I confirmed my destination, the driver gave a quick nod, and I got in. The ride started. It was a pretty quiet ride, which I appreciated. I was just looking out the window, watching the city lights, thinking about my day, and honestly, I wasn't paying much attention to the route.
That's usually me. I just trust the driver completely. But sometimes, I get a little nervous if I don't recognize anything at all. Did you feel that at any point?
A little, but I tried to relax. The city was new to me, so everything looked unfamiliar anyway. I pulled out my phone once or twice, just to discreetly check the map, but it seemed like we were heading in the right direction.
Good thinking. A quick map check can save a lot of worry.
We drove for about 15 minutes, and then, just as I was starting to feel a bit sleepy, we pulled up right in front of the Grand Hotel. Perfect, I thought. My relief was palpable. I almost sighed out loud.
Okay, so far, so good. No red flags. The destination was correct. You're safe, you're at your hotel. So, where did it all go wrong? This is where the story gets tense, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. This brings us to our second important phrase, asking about the fare. Now, in hindsight, I should have asked this before we arrived, or even during the ride.
Oh, I always wonder about that. When is the best time to ask? Is it rude to ask right when you get in? I always feel a bit shy about it.
It's not rude at all. In fact, it's a very good idea, especially if there's no meter, or if you're unsure about the pricing in a new place. You can ask, how much will that be? Or, what's the fare to the Grand Hotel?
How much will that be? Or, what's the fare to the Grand Hotel? Got it. So, you're saying you didn't ask this? You just hoped for the best?
I didn't. I just assumed there would be a meter, or the driver would tell me the price when we arrived. I was so tired, Ava, I just wanted to get out, check in, and collapse. So, we stopped, and the driver turned off the engine.
And then? The silence began? The dreaded silence?
Exactly. He just looked at me in the rearview mirror. No words. No movement. Just a steady gaze. I smiled, a little awkwardly, and started reaching for my wallet. I had some local currency, a few larger bills. I pulled out one of them, a 50-unit bill, and held it out.
And he just stared? Oh, the tension. I can feel it building just listening to you. What was his face like? Was he angry? Confused?
That's the thing, Ava. His face was completely unreadable. No anger, no confusion, just a stare. My smile faltered. My hand, holding the bill, started to feel a bit shaky. I thought, did I give him too much? Is it not enough? Is this bill fake? Oh no, is it the wrong currency for this country? My mind was racing, trying to figure out what was happening.
That's the worst. When you're trying to decode someone's expression and you have absolutely no idea what they're thinking. Did you try to say anything? Anything at all?
I mumbled something like, here you go. But it came out more like a question than a statement. My voice was a little higher than usual, I think. He still didn't move. The silence stretched. It felt like an hour, but it was probably only 5 or 10 seconds. My face was definitely tomato red by this point. I could feel the heat spreading.
Oh, Andrew, I'm cringing for you. I've had similar moments, maybe not in a taxi, but just in general, when you're trying to pay for something and there's a misunderstanding. It's so awkward. You just want to disappear into the floor.
Exactly. I was ready to just hand him my entire wallet and run. My palms were sweating. I was thinking, okay, what's the protocol here? Do I just leave the money on the seat? Do I try to ask again, but what do I ask? It was pure panic.
So, what was the actual problem? You must have found out eventually. I can't imagine you just sitting there forever.
Yes, thankfully. This brings us to our third important phrase, paying and asking for change. This is where the misunderstanding was. I was holding out the 50-unit bill, and he was just looking at it.
So, you gave him a large bill. Was the fare much less than 50?
Yes, it was. The fare was actually only 15 units. I was holding out a 50-unit bill, expecting him to take it and give me change. But he was just waiting for me to say something. He didn't know my intention.
Ah, he was waiting for you to tell him what you were doing. Not just assume he knew you wanted change. That makes so much sense.
Precisely. In my exhaustion and panic, I had forgotten to use the simple phrase, here's 50. Do you have change for that? Or, even simpler, here's 50.
Here's 50. Do you have change for that? That's so clear. Or just, here's 50. And then he would know you're giving him a larger bill and expecting change. It's so obvious when you say it now.
Exactly. After what felt like an eternity, he finally, very slowly, pointed at the bill in my hand and said, in broken English, with a questioning tone, change?
Oh, the relief. I bet you almost cried right there in the back of the taxi.
I almost did. It was like a light bulb went off in my head, and all the tension just left my body in a rush. I quickly said, yes. Change for 50, please. And then he nodded, took the bill, and rummaged around for the change.
And then? He gave you the correct change?
Yes. He handed me back 35 units, and I quickly said, thank you, and practically leapt out of the car. I didn't even wait for him to say anything else. I just wanted to be out of there.
What a story. So, it was just a simple communication breakdown. He didn't know if you were trying to pay 50 and didn't need change, or if you were giving him 50 for a smaller fare and expected change.
Exactly. And it taught me that even in simple transactions, being clear with your words can save you a lot of awkwardness, panic, and a very red face.
That's such a relatable lesson. I remember once I was in a cafe, and I just put the money on the counter, and the barista just looked at it, and then looked at me, and I realized I hadn't said, thank you, or, here you go. It's those little social cues that can make all the difference.
Absolutely. Sometimes we forget that not everyone thinks the same way, or has the same customs. A little bit of clear language goes a long way. So, to recap those 3 crucial phrases for taking a taxi.
First, confirming your destination. Could you take me to address, landmark, please? Or, are you going towards area?
Second, asking about the fare. How much will that be? Or, what's the fare to destination?
And third, paying and asking for change. Here's amount. Do you have change for that? Or simply, here's amount.
These phrases are your best friends for a smooth taxi ride. They help avoid those awkward silences and misunderstandings, like my infamous staring driver incident.
I can definitely see how using them would have saved you a lot of stress in that moment, Andrew. You would have been relaxing in your hotel room much sooner.
Oh, absolutely. I learned my lesson the hard way. But now I always make sure to be super clear, no matter how tired I am. It's worth the extra few words.
It's a great story to illustrate why these phrases are so important. It makes it real, and it makes it memorable. I won't forget that tomato red face.
Hopefully, our listeners won't have to experience it themselves. And now, for our listeners, it's time for a quick shadowing moment. This is your chance to practice these phrases out loud.
Remember, shadowing means repeating what you hear, trying to match the pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible. Don't worry about being perfect, just try your best.
We'll say each phrase twice, with a pause in between for you to repeat. Really try to mimic our voices. Ready?
Let's do it. Get those voices ready, everyone.
Phrase 1. Confirming destination. Could you take me to the Grand Hotel, please? Pause. Could you take me to the Grand Hotel, please? Pause. Phrase 2. Asking about the fare. How much will that be? Pause. How much will that be? Pause. Phrase 3. Paying and asking for change. Here's 50. Do you have change for that? Pause. Here's 50. Do you have change for that? Pause.
Great job, everyone. Keep practicing those. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel when you need them in a real situation.
Absolutely. And remember, even if you make a mistake, it's okay. That's how we learn. My taxi experience was a perfect example of learning from a mistake, even if it was a little embarrassing at the time.
It certainly was. So, before we finish, let's do a quick recap of today's main ideas and the most useful phrases.
Today, we talked about taking a taxi and how important clear communication is, especially when confirming your destination and paying for the ride.
We learned 3 key phrases. Could you take me to address, landmark, please? How much will that be? And here's amount. Do you have change for that?
These phrases will help you have a smoother, less stressful taxi ride, whether you're in your hometown or exploring a brand new city. They're your little language superpowers.
Pick 1 or 2 expressions and try them in real life today, even in a very short conversation. Maybe you can practice with a friend, or even just in front of a mirror. The more you use them, the more comfortable you'll feel.
The more you use them, the more confident you'll become. And who knows, you might even avoid your own staring driver moment. Trust me, you don't want one of those.
Let's hope so. Thank you for listening today. We hope this mini story helped you practice real English in a fun and memorable way.
We really appreciate you joining us. Your practice makes a difference, and it helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with your favorite phrase from today, or maybe even share your own funny or awkward taxi story. We'd love to hear them. Bye everyone.
See you. Before we finish, let's do a quick recap of today's main ideas and the most useful phrases.
Pick 1 or 2 expressions and try them in real life today, even in a very short conversation.
You've been listening to SpeakCast English. Thanks for practicing with us, and see you next time on SpeakCast English.